Hello everyone. Welcome to Swiflearn Live classes. How are you? Hope everybody is fine, doing well. Yes? Okay. So, hello everyone. Once again, welcome to Swiflearn Live classes. And here we are teaching you online, live. Yes, live. We are teaching you everyone there sitting and watching this video live. So what are we actually? We are a Swiflearn company member, a teacher of a Swiflearn company. So what do a Swiflearn company do? Let me tell you that before we start our today's topic, right? All right. So what is Swiflearn? Swiflearn is an online platform where 100% live classes and interactive classes go on. So we teach students live and have an interactive session. That means that you and we are discussing the topic, understanding each and every point. It's just not one way that we are just telling you and you are sitting on the other hand and just listening to us. Okay. Second, the most important thing is that the batch, the students which are there are only 6. Maximum to this, it's 6. So it's 1:6 number of students are there in the batch, relating it to the ratio topic. 1:6, right? Okay. So now 6 students would be there in the class. And when there are limited number of students, what happens? Your all doubts are here. We are able to concentrate. We are able to see where are you lacking? Where is the base? Which is the point which you have not understood? So each and every aspect is taken consideration. Okay. Moreover, there is a team which takes tracks and works on students' progress. So we take each and everything, we do make a map, or we can say we take a graph of it, like where are you standing? You're improving, and if you have gone down, so what is the reason behind it? So each and every minor of the detail is also think over, we take it into consideration. Moreover, we cover the syllabus from the school exam. It's not like we are teaching whatever we want. We just cover what is there in the school so that you go give the exam of the school and you score good marks in there also. Okay. And more, and best part is that we can also provide you with the handle with custom requests, like whichever thing you want, a topic you want more practice on that topic, then that is also given. Even if the rest of the student in the class don't want it, if you have a special requirement, that is taken into consideration. So all these 4 points or all these 4 factors makes in Swiflearn company as the India's most sincere learning destination for classes 3 to 10. So yes, we have third class grade students till 10. So we take each and every class and each and every subject very seriously. Okay, some more features are important for doing good in education and learning properly is that report. See, I mentioned you before. So something like a graph, this is there on your panel. So you have a whole profile in which these are there. So you know which subject, which topic you are not clear so that we can concentrate over it. Okay. Next thing is that we have a Swiflearn academic test series. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Swiflearn academic test series. So what is it? It's SATs. We call it SATs. So there is a text series which keep on happening. So you can participate on it and perform good and have us, you know where you stand nationally or international level as well, because there are many students outside India also which have enrolled for Swiflearn. They know that Swiflearn is giving them good platform and working hard on them. Okay. And we give unlimited practice tests. So there are a lot of tests there. And subjective tests. Subjective tests, why do we say it's important? It's important, especially in mathematics. Why? See, when we do an exam, so each and every step has a marks, right? So subjective, unless and until we don't know at which step you are lacking, we will not able to improve. See, we are not giving you multi-choice. Just click on it and we know, yeah, you'd have done the answer. We are taking each and every step, due to which we know which step or what is the point or which is the mathematical operation, especially in maths I'm talking about. Mathematical operation is not clear to you. You are making more mistakes in multiplications or in divisions, or you don't know the table. So the minor of the detail is also taken into consideration. All right. So hope you like our company and you will subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit on the bell icon and so that you never miss any update class. No, not even a single one. So you'll get each and every update on the live session, what we are teaching here right now. Okay, coming back to the topic, welcome. I'm Harneet there teaching you the topic ratio and proportions. So we have already done 2 sessions on that. So we pretty know that what is ratio and what is proportions, right? So let's revise it. Yeah. So, before telling you what we revise and what will be the future, let me tell you what exactly we are doing in this session. So in this session, our objective is to learn unitary method. What is unitary method? Anybody knows it? Yeah, is there anyone? Write on the comments on there. I'm reading your comments. Come on, do it. Yeah, unitary method. Okay, if you know it, then very good. And if you don't know it, not a problem. After this session, I'm pretty sure you'll know it. Similarly, what happened with ratio and proportions, right? Okay, so let's revise what we did in the last session. Do you remember what we did in the last few sessions? Last class? Yes? Yeah? Yes, we did ratios, we did equivalent ratios, and we did proportions. So what is ratio? What is ratio? Anyone? Yeah? Yeah, ratio means when we compare something, when 2 quantities are compared, so something which we compare, 2 quantities are compared, but in what terms? In terms of how many times. See, the term is important. Comparison can be done in any form. There are multiple ways of comparing things, but especially comparing the things in form of how many times. This term, how many times, is very important, and this comparison is known as ratios. Okay. And what else have we done? We did equivalent ratios. What is equivalent ratio? Yeah, equivalent. Equal stands for equivalent, comes from a word equal. That means 2 ratios which are equal, stand par to par. They are called equivalent ratios. How did we find out? Did you remember that? Yes. Yes, right. So what was there? There was a bigger fraction. We tried to bring it down to the lowest term, and then we realized that 2 fractions, when brought down to the lowest terms, they are equal. We call it equivalent ratios. Now, next step was proportion. What was proportion? Proportion is when 2 ratios, they are equal. So we call it their proportion. So any 2 ratios which are equal, they are called proportions. So I'll just revise the proportions once again with you. That was, see, A by B. Suppose there is a fraction A by B and there is a fraction C by D. How come we come directly to the fraction? I mean to say was that there is a ratio A is to B and there is a ratio C is to D, right? So we can write it by A by B upon that is equals to C by D. Yeah. So when we know that these 2 ratios are equal, these 2 fractions are equal, so we call it proportion. How? See, we say A is to B. And what is the sign of proportions? 2 semicolons. So that is known as. A is to B as C is to D. So when this is true, we call it proportionate. We call it proportion. And when it's not true, we call it they are not proportionate to each other. Perfectly fine? Yeah? All right. So now we have revised what we did. So let me take a quick review. Let me give you a test. Can you solve it with me? So that we know that whatever I've taught you, you've understood, right? Okay. Shall we start? Okay. The first question is, give 2 equivalent ratios of 5:1. So I need 2 equivalent ratios of 5:1. So how do we go about it? Yeah. Tell me. 2 equivalent ratios. Good morning. Yeah, good morning, bacha. Welcome to the class. Yeah, give me the answer. 5:1. 2 equivalent ratios. 5:1 can be written as 5/1. A hint. Now, how do we proceed? How do we get equivalent ratio? Yes, we can multiply any number in the top as a numerator and the denominator so that the fraction and the end, the ratio remains the same. That's what is our goal. We don't want to change the ratio. I don't know why my tongue is slipping today. Okay, so 5/1. So how do we go about it? Let me multiply it by 2 from the top and at the bottom. So when I multiply by 2, I get 10/2. So what is 10/2 written as? It is written as 10:2. So I got one ratio. What is the next ratio? Yeah, give me the answer. The next ratio, I can multiply it by any number, right? I can multiply it by, I've done it by 2. Let me do it by 3. Small numbers, easy to find it. Why to multiply with big numbers and complicate our ratios and find the answer, right? Let's solve it. So 5 3s are 15/3. So that comes out to be 5:3. So I got a ratio 5:1 is equivalent. That was, the earlier one was 10:2 and now is 15:3. Who all got right? Who all got right? Give me a thumbs up. Who all got right? All right, great. Moving on to the next one. Let me give you one more question. Okay, what the question is saying, let's read properly, okay, and understand. It says there's two people. One name is Ravi and one is Rani, okay? So Ravi and Rani started a business and invested money in the ratio 2:3. So they have invested the money in a ratio that is 2:3. Okay, what's happened next? After a year, the total profit was 4 lakh rupees. So they've earned a lot in a year, right? Okay, so they decided to divide the profit equally as per their investment. Equally as per their investment. Find the share they both get individually. So what are they saying? That they are dividing the profit equally, but as per the investment. So whoever has invested more will get more share of profit. And whoever has got less share of profit because they have invested or put in the money in a lesser amount. That is what the comparison is. So now the profit is also shared in the same ratio. So what is the ratio? 2:3, right? Yes. So I know the total amount, that is 4 lakh rupees. The profit of 4 lakh rupees is been shared in 2:3. So if I know the ratio 2:3, so what is the total amount which Ravi has invested? He invested the fraction of 2/5. How's 2/5? Why did I wrote 5? From where did this 5 come? Do you remember we did this type of question the last session? Yeah, do you know it? Okay, I'll tell to you now. It's 2 plus 3. From here I got 5, right? So it's 2/5. So I know the fraction of the amount or the money Ravi has invested in it, it's 2/5. Whereas for Rani, it is 3/5, right? Okay. So if I have to calculate the share, that means I have to multiply this by rupees 4 lakh so that I know how much profit Ravi will have. So after doing this, I know when cancelling this, it comes out to be 80,000, right? And 80 into 80,000 to 2 is 1,60,000 rupees. So unit is important. Unit is important. Okay, let me calculate what Ravi will get. Okay, Ravi will get 3 of rupees 4 lakh. That comes out to be, that again, I'll strike this off, that comes out to be 80,000, right? So 3 into 80,000 comes out to be 2,40,000 rupees. So now finally I know how are they dividing the profit in the ratio 2:3, and Ravi, as he invested less. So he's getting the profit also less. Whereas Rani, she has invested more. So she is getting the share of profit more. Pretty clear? Yeah? Okay. Moving on to the next question. Out of 60 students in a class, 16 like football, 22 like cricket, and the remaining like tennis. Find the ratio of number of students liking football to the number of students liking tennis. Let me do the first part first, and then I'll read what is asked in the second part. Okay? All right. So it's saying the number of students liking football. I know 16 like football, whereas the number of students liking tennis. But I don't know. It's not given because it's saying remaining. How will I calculate the remaining number of students that like tennis? Think over it. Take your time. I'm giving you a few seconds. Yes. How will you know the students which like tennis? Yes. Yes, by subtracting it from total. Perfect. So I know 16 like football, 22 like cricket. So that comes out to be total of 38. Yeah, by adding, right? Okay. But I know the total was 60. Out of 60, if 38, I already know what they like. So I'll get the remaining number of students that like only tennis. Right. So by subtracting this, I got 22. Right? I got 22 students. Now I know each and every student, each and every category, how many students are there. Right? Okay. So the first says comparing or finding the ratio means comparing number of students that like football. So football on the top and tennis at beneath. That is what they're asking. So ratio of football, which are the number of students which like football? There are 16. So write 16 on the top, right? And tennis, that I have just now calculated. This is for tennis, right? That is 22. So I know they both are even, they come in two tables. So by cancelling this, by dividing it by 2, I got 8 by 11. So the ratio is 8 is to 11. So out of every 11 students we are talking about, there are out of every 11 students of tennis comparison with number of footballs, we get 8 is to 11. Pretty good? Okay. Moving on to the second part. What is the second part telling us to calculate? It is telling the number of students that like cricket to the total number of students. So now the comparison is with the total students. So we know the total students are 60 and the number of students that like cricket are 22, right? So when we are comparing, that will be 22. Let me clear up. Get some space. Yeah. So 22 over 60. That comes out to be by dividing it by 2 because both are even. I get 11 by 30. Is there any way I can more solve it? Is there any way I think there can be a lowest term for this? Is there any table in which these two numbers come together? No, right? So now they are already in the lowest form. So the ratio is 11 is to 30. Clear? Sure. Okay. Moving on now with the today's topic. What is the topic? It says that Manish went to a bookstore to buy some books. So it usually happens, we go to the store, we go to the stationery shop and we buy things. That is simple. So what is Manish actually doing? He went to the shop and he purchased 4 books for rupees 280. So he bought 4 books and the total amount he paid is rupees 280. So what will be the price of one book? What is the price of one book? See, I know the total number of books he purchased. He purchased total 4 books. Can you see this? It's written 4 books. And the total amount he paid to the shopkeeper was rupees 280. So what the question is asking us to calculate, it is saying that what will be the price for one book, single one book. So how do we calculate that? Yes? Okay. So we calculate that by doing, see, 4 books is equals to rupees 280. So to calculate one book, what will I do? One book value is when I divide 280 by 4. This we know the logic. When we know the total and we have to go down to a single number, when we go down, that means we are repeatedly subtracting. And what does repeated subtraction mean? It means division. So we'll divide it by 4. So by dividing it by 4, what answer do I get? I get 70, right? So cost of 4 books is 280 rupees. Therefore, the cost of one notebook will be 280 divided by 4, which comes out to be rupees 70. So now we got the value of one book. Now the question is one more. We added one more question for you. So now if I now ask you that suppose he bought 8 books, so how much amount he had to pay? So now how will I calculate? So now if you want to ask that find the cost of 8, so how will I do it? I'll multiply it by 8. What will I doing? Now I know the smaller amount and I need to calculate for the bigger value, right? So small I know, I want to go ahead. I have to expand. So I means I have to add again and again because each book is for 8 rupees. So first is for 70 rupees. Second book is for 70 rupees. So on the 8 books, 70 plus 70 plus 70, 8 times. That means repeatedly addition. That comes down to multiplication, right? So when I multiply 70 rupees with 8 books, that comes out to be rupees 560. So now, what is unitary method? Coming back to the topic, I gave you a situation. And what did we actually do in that? We knew the total, we had bring down to it to 1, and then we realized what actually unit they want in the question, right? So unitary unit is the word from which the word unitary has come. So what does unit means? Unit means 1. So anything it's given to us, we'll bring it down to the level of 1, and later on, whatever it is asked, we will move ahead according to the question. This is the unitary method. I'll give you one more example. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, United Nations, I'm going fast, or you want me to go fast? Be a little precise with what I want to do. Okay, let us take an example. I'll give you one more situation so that you know exactly what to do. There is a boy, Andy, who owns a bike, okay, which requires 3 liters of petrol to cover 120 kilometers of distance. So I know the total distance that it covers, the bike is going when it has 3 liters of petrol. Okay, what's next? It's saying Andy wants to go to his uncle's place, which is 160 kilometers from his house. So it is pretty more far, right? It is far away. So how much petrol do I need? So for these type of questions, when I already know that with 3 liters, how much can I travel? And I know how much I have to travel, but I don't know how much liters will I need. So when I'm going for the petrol pump to get it filled, I don't know exactly how much do I have to get it filled so that I reach my destinations in a well time. So I don't need to go to the petrol pump again, right? And that saves my time and energy. So to calculate all these things, we use mathematics. And for this mathematics, we use unitary method. So what are we actually doing in unitary method is, see, we know for 120 kilometers, petrol is needed is 3 liters. So for to travel for 1 kilometer, so what did we do? We had bring it down to 1 unit. So for 1 kilometer, I will need 3 liters, that is divided by 120 kilometers. That comes out to be 1 by 40 liters. So for traveling 1 kilometer, I need 1 over 40 liters. Clear with this? What have we done? We have divided 3 liters by 120 so that this 120 kilometers can be bring it down, and we brought it down to 1 kilometer. So that comes out to be 1 over 40 liters. Now, if you ask to find out how many liters of petrol are required to cover 160 kilometers. So how much petrol do I need? This is the question was demanding to know the amount of petrol that is needed to cover 160. So how do I calculate 160 kilometer? I'll multiply it, the amount of petrol needed, with 1 kilometer. I know for 1 kilometer it is 1 over 40. So for 60, it will be multiplied by 60. That comes out to be 4 liters. So when I'll go to the petrol pump and I'll tell them that kindly fill my bike tank with 4 liters of petrol. Clear? So what are we doing? So in unitary method, we are actually finding out the value of 1 unit. So the method in which first we find out the value of 1 unit and then the value of the required number of unit is known as unitary method. So coming back to the topic, what actually are we doing? We are doing is that a bigger number is given to us, right? Something as a whole. So what do? We bring it down to a single unit, 1 unit. So that now I know whatever amount you want, I can simply multiply it. Repeatedly addition of the same number means multiplication. So I'm repeatedly multiplying it so that I know the total value. So unitary method is the method in which we find out the value of 1 unit, 1 per unit, right? And then the value what is required, we will find it out by simply multiplying it. So what are the steps we are following? Generally, we follow first as division and later on we multiply. That is what we do. Let's do some more questions. Let's do one question. Cost of 168 envelopes is rupees 700. Okay. How many envelopes can be purchased for rupees 100? So how many envelopes can I purchase for rupees 100? So the cost of 168 envelopes is rupees 700. So I have to calculate the amount is given to me. It's given rupees 100. For rupees 100, how many envelopes can I buy? So see, now how do we begin is that whatever thing we have to calculate, here we have to calculate number of envelopes. So whatever amount we have to calculate, we'll keep it on the left hand side. Okay. And which is given to us, we'll keep it on the right hand side. Is it clear? Right. So now what is it saying? That the envelopes, I know the amount. Here also I know the amount, but I have to calculate the number of envelopes. So how do we begin with this? See, I'm giving you the solution. So for rupees 700, the number of envelopes that are purchased is 168. Right. So therefore, for 1 rupees, see, it's given to me, 700 is given to me, 100 is the amount I need to calculate. So what actually I know? I know in 700, it comes out to be 168 envelopes. So 700 will be written on the left hand side and will be equal to 168 envelopes. So therefore, for rupees 1, the number of envelopes that I can be purchased is rupees, I know, for 1 rupees, right? This is what I'm bringing it down rupees from 700 to 1. And the number of envelopes, which were 168, that has been done by dividing it by 700. But what is the question asking me? Question is asking that how many I can purchase with rupees 100, which is there in my hand. So how will I purchase this? I will multiply it by 100. So when I multiply it by 100, that comes out to be 24 on solving. Okay, by dividing, see, these two zeros gets cancelled and I divide 168 by 7, that comes out to be 24. So therefore the answer is 24 envelopes can be purchased for rupees 100. Clear? So what have we done? First we divided by 700 and later on whatever the question was asking, it was asking the amount of 100 rupees, how many I can buy. So I multiplied it by 100. So first I divided, then I multiplied and finally reached to the solution which I want. Okay. Now, moving on to the next question. What does the next question say? Okay, try these out by yourself. Try it out. I'll give you some time and you solve it and give me the answer in the comment box. Okay, I'll waiting for your answers. The first question for you to try is, the temperature dropped 15 degrees Celsius in the last 30 days. So what's happened? In last 30 days, the temperature has gone down to 15 degrees. If the rate of temperature drops remains the same, so it's dropping with the same amount, then what happens? How many degree will the temperature drop in the next 10 days? So what will happen in the next 10 days? The temperature, if it's getting reduced in the same amount, in the same proportion. So what will happen? How will we do it? Think over it. I'm giving you a few seconds to solve. Go ahead. Give it a shot. You can do it. I know it. Give it. Try it. Yes. So what is we are doing in this question? Yeah. Okay. I think you have done it now. Have you? Yeah. Okay. So let's start. I'll tell you now. I'm taking my space to solve the question. So the question is that 30 days the temperature has gone down with 15 degree, right? So how much will it be going down in one day? One day it will be 15 degree over 30. I'll divide it by 30, right? This will what will happen. And what are they asking? The question is saying that what will happen in next 10 days. So the amount of temperature that will go down in next 10 days will be 15 degree over 30 into 10. That comes out to be, I'll cancel the zeros, that comes out to be 5 degree. So the answer is 5 degrees Celsius. Who all got right? Can we see? Yeah? Great. Well done. If you got it right. Very good. Keep it up. Okay, so what have we done? I'm repeating the question. I'm telling you the steps. It says in 30 days, the temperature goes down by 15 degrees. So there's a relation with the days and temperature. So 30 days is equals to 15 degree, right? That's dropping. So coming down, bringing the 30 days back to 1 unit because we want unitary. right? So 1 unit, 1 day, what temperature is going down? It is going down by 15 degree over 30, dividing it by 30. So now we don't want to, for the value of 1 day. That is not the question is asking. The question is asking us for the value of 10 days. So what will I do? I'll multiply it by 10. So 15 degree over 30 is multiplied by 10. That comes out to be 5 degree. Clear? Okay. Next. Now try this one. The weight of 108 books is 12 kgs. What is the weight of 63 such books? So what was the weight? I know that the total 108 books weight is 12 kgs. So what is the weight of 63 books? What I need to calculate, I need to know the weight. So question mark, weight is a question mark for 63 books. So for that, what I need to calculate is on the right hand side. I mentioned that. And what I already know is on the left hand side. So what I know is, I know 108 books, right? I know 108 books is weight equal to 12 kg. This I know it. So the weight of one book, how will I calculate it? By dividing it by 108, right? That is what we are doing. We are dividing it by 108. But is the question asking us to know the value weight of one, the value of one book? No, right? So what the question is asking us, what is it asking is to calculate the weight of 63 books. So the weight of 63 books. How do we do it? We will multiply it by 63. So when I multiply it by 63 by solving it, see, I know this both numbers comes in 9 table. Let me strike out and divide it by 9. It comes out to be 9 7s are 63 and 9 12s are 108. So now I know 12 and 12 get cancelled. So my answer comes out to be 7 kg. Who all got right? 7 kgs. Yeah, great. So let me explain the question one again. Again, it says 108 books is 12 kgs. So I know the total of number of books and their weight in kgs. Now, the weight of one book. Bring it down. One book is equals to 12 kg. That is divided by 108. Pretty simple. Now, it's asking us to know the weight of 63 books. So what am I doing? I'm multiplying it by 63. So on solving, on doing all the calculation, that comes out to be 7 kg. Okay. Now, next. Moving on to the next question. Yes, Anju, good morning. Good to see you here. Okay. Anju, try this question. Go ahead. Give me the answer. Let's try this out. Now, there is a comparison between this. I'm giving you a hint before that. Okay, let's start. Raju. There is a boy named Raju. He made 144 runs in 18 overs. So he played 18 overs and he made 144 runs. Whereas a girl named Anup, he made or she made. What is a girl or a boy? Anup. It can be a girl or a boy. Let me think it as a girl. Okay. So Anup, she makes 112 runs in 16 overs. So how many runs is it made in 1 over? That is what we need to calculate. Why? Why are we going it back to 1 unit? Because we need to compare who made more runs in per over. So in 1 over, who is making more runs? That is what we need to compare. So for this, we'll have to bring both of them down to 1 over. So do it. Go ahead. Try it. Yes, I'm waiting for you. Do it and give me the answer quickly. We know Raju made 144 runs in 18 overs. So I need to calculate 1 over. So whatever thing we need to calculate, we put it on the left-hand side. What is given, we keep it on the right-hand side. Go ahead, do it. 32? How, Anju? How 32? They both are different. We need to compare. We need to compare Raju and Anup. So what runs did Raju made? That is separate. What runs did Anup made? That is separate, Anju. Do it. Try it one more. Yes, go ahead. Okay, let me give you the answer now. It says Raju. He made, let me solve here for Raju, okay? So Raju is making 108 runs in, 144 runs in 8 overs. 18 overs was equals to 144. Am I right? Let me go back and see it once again. It was, 144 in 18 overs. Perfect. Right. Now let me go back to my space. Okay. So in 18 overs, he made 144 runs. Right. So in 1 over, what will I do? I will divide. I'll divide 144 by 18. So that comes out to be 8 runs. So in each 1 over, Raju made 8 runs. Okay. Now coming to Anup. What did she do? She made 112 runs. In how many overs? In 16 overs. So in 16 overs, she made 112. So in 1 over, she will make 112 divided by 16. So by solving this, I know it comes out to be 7 runs. Now, who made more runs per over? Now can you compare? Now you know who got more? Yes, Raju scored more per over. He made 8 runs, whereas Anup, she made 7 runs. So Raju is winning. He's scoring more per over. So this is how we compare. Okay. This is how we compare. We know 1 over has what the player has made in each over. So by knowing that, we know per over who is scoring more runs. So for this comparison makes us easy. So with the help of unitary method, we are actually able to compare everything. We are bringing down to one level. Otherwise, we are not able to compare the number of runs made in 16 and 18 overs. Can you compare? No, because they don't have the same barrier. It can be more, it can be less. So for comparing it, we have to bring it down to the same level, and that is per over. Clear? That is why we are doing unitary. We bring it down to 1 per unit, per overs, everything one book. Okay. Right. Now, moving on to the next question. The last question for the day. Okay. Now, let's try it. It says, what does the question say? Mahima pays rupees 12,000 as rent for 3 months. See, I'm underlining it side by side because I know these are the values which I have to take. This is the information that I have to take out from the word problems. So you should know exactly what you want to take it out, what are the values given and what the question is asking. So whenever you read the question, start underlining it there and then so that you know what the question is asking. And later on, by seeing the values, you are able to compare. Okay, that saves our time. Okay. So how much does she has to pay for a whole year if the rent per month remains same? So if the rent remains same, how much she needs to pay for the whole year? But the amount is given in months. They are asking for the whole year. How is it possible? How will I calculate? Is there any way I know there is a relation between year and a month? Any relation? Yes, is there? Yes, I know. 1 year has 12 months, right? I know this. So I know for 3 months, I'm writing months as the short form. He's paying rupees 12,000. So the amount that he paid for 1 month is 12,000 over 3. That comes out to be 4,000 rupees, right? So for every month, he's paying 4,000 rupees. Now, what the question is saying, to know the value he paid for a year. And a year, I know it's equals to 12 months. I know this, right? I know it's equal to 12 months. So what will I do? Finally, I will multiply it by 12. Yes, you are right. So I'll multiply 4,000 by 12. So on multiplying, the amount paid for 1 year, one whole year is rupees 4,000 into 12. That comes out to be rupees 48,000. 12 into 4 is 48 and 3 zeros. So 48,000. So now I know for the whole year, they are paying rupees 48,000. Clear? Okay. Coming back to the question, what actually we did, we knew the value for 3 months that they were paying this much rent. So what did we do? We bring it down to 1. How much rent he is paying in 1 month. Now I know the value of 1 month. I need to calculate it for the year. A whole year means 12 months. So I have to multiply it by 12 because I know 1 year is equals to 12 months. So I got to know that the whole year they are paying 48,000 rupees as the rent. All right, everyone. Good. I hope you understood. Yeah. So what all we have done till now? We did ratios. We have done equivalent ratios, proportion, and unitary method. So we have covered till now. By end of this session, you know all the 4 topics. So what is ratio? What is equivalent ratio? What is proportion? And what is unitary method? And why unitary method is important. That's it. That's it for today. Now, I'll tell you again, thanks for joining us, being there with us. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you understood each and everything and you know now what is unitary method. So hope to see you again in the next session. Kindly subscribe and hit on the bell icon so that next time you have an update that there is Harneet Mam sitting there for you, waiting for you so that you join in and study. And remember to subscribe to the channel and please visit the website of the Swiflearn. You will know that we are doing very hard and getting great result. Our students are performing very well in their school as well. So kindly check out our website and think over joining in. Okay. All right then, everybody. Bye-bye. Take care. Meet you again in the next